Nation, buckle up. We are watching common sense fight for its life in real time.
Oh, baby. Jimmy, are we talking shortcuts today, man? Honest to God. I don't know if I got time for shortcuts. Oh, man. Too many people want shortcuts in life. It's like, oh, it's done. Oh, complacency sets in. Nope, it's never done. No shortcuts. No such thing as shortcuts.
Shortcuts are just excuses wearing gym clothes.
Sometimes you gotta shed the old to move forward to get to the new.
People want growth without grief. That bill always comes due.
Hey, I wonder if she can predict how somebody's gonna do in fitness if she's a psychic. Just wondering out loud. Just think about that, right? And somebody just laying in their gym and going, whoop, snooze, whoop, snooze. But I don't got no time. Whoop, snooze.
Snooze is the most honest addiction we have.
But I don't got no time. Whoop, snooze. Nah, you do actually. Yeah, if you've been doing that all year so far, you are 4 hours behind us.
Time is never missing. Attention is.
Yesterday afternoon, true story, said, hey, I want to talk about this. I'm like, sure. And last we got a couple comments saying, hey, can we talk to Brianna Bass about this? I'm like, yeah, what do you want to talk about? Well, my partner wants to do this, but they won't listen to me.
Advice without permission feels like an attack.
I believe this. Real power is the person who can shut up long enough.
Listening scares insecure leaders.
To actually hear what's happening. They're not in a conversation. They are in a courtroom building their case.
Most arguments are rehearsed, not discovered.
They're already thinking what's supposed to come next. And that's why they miss the most important stuff. Not. Listening is actually dominance.
Silence is leverage when you can handle it.
Not chest thumping dominance, but the calm kind, the kind that makes you harder to manipulate, faster to see truth, and way better at leading people. Hey, I was skating this morning. They had me on the rink out there playing hockey this morning, which was great.
Our fucking dollar is just, the American dollar is just fucking collapsing.
Panic gets louder right before systems change.
It just makes me fucking laugh when I saw that.
And by the way, did you see silver went to one fucking
Oh, yeah. You're going to start seeing, more acceptance of alternative currencies.
Money follows belief shifts, not headlines.
Like Bitcoin and so forth. So it's marketing, Johnny. It's actually political marketing right now. Right?
What the fuck good does a Porsche do if you can't have any, if there's no fucking gasoline to put, excuse me.
Yeah.
A petro fuel, not an electric Porsche.
Politics today are entertainment.
Rage is the new ratings.
Their culture. I'm like, yeah, you're right. So as much as we don't want to talk politics, it's just part of culture. It's part of entertainment today. I'll tell you about
Jesse Ventura summed that up perfectly. Yes. Politics is just like fucking wrestling.
Yeah. Kayfabe for adults.
That's exactly
when the fucking lights are on and the fucking cameras are flashing, we're fighting like hell. When everybody leaves the fucking arena, we go eat together. I've learned more about myself in the squat rack.
Gravity doesn't lie.
Into the place of the planet. But what I really mean is, I've been all of my layers have been pulled back so fucking far. I get more messages from the universe.
Oh man, that's something that we absolutely unequivocally agree on is the power of the squat rack. It's the great equalizer.
Everyone pays the same tax there.
In life, man. We are watching history together.
Nobody realizes the pivot while it's happening.
On the show, we're going to watch, one day in the future, we're going to watch back and see how much we predicted it. Johnny, when Elon dropped Tesla and he started with the Roadster, and then he got 2,500 people to buy the Roadsters, and I was one of them. Well, that's what investor Kathy Wood has been barking for a long time. She's like, guys, they're not an automobile company.
People still argue about the wrapper. Yeah, it's just packaging.
They're an AI robotics company. AI robotics. Like those cars.
That's what drives the fucking cars.
It's tough for companies to move forward often. And what they're basically saying is that we're canceling what got us here.
Survival requires betrayal of past success.
The Model S and Model X is what got us here, but it's not going to get us to the fore. It's not going to get us to the future. As leaders, Johnny, as businessmen, as business owners, as founders, as CEOs, we have a hard time shedding our skin to get to the next skin. And it takes balls to do that.
Comfort kills founders quietly.
Elon is gonna fucking go live on fucking Mars.
Vision always sounds insane first.
And he's gonna sit up there with a fucking laptop and control the whole fucking world.
A tech columnist took all of his health data from his watch, uploaded it to ChatGPT, and ChatGPT analyzed it all and basically gave him I'm gonna exaggerate, he gave him an F, like basically saying, you're dying. Like you got an F. He's like, what the fuck?
Well, it'd be like fucking trying to pick your fucking winning horse on your favorite number when you should be looking at the motherfucker's legs.
Numbers are good, but they're not everything.
Metrics are maps, not reality.
You know how we've always talked about responding instead of reacting? Listen, before we get into an argument, remember this quote. Jimmy, let's drop some words of wisdom this morning on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends.
motto for this year is #DoYou.
Slogans collapse under pressure.
And you know what? And if that's what feels right in this moment,
If Karen's asking you and I to do us, well, then Karen hasn't spent much time watching Keith and John do Keith and John. So
oh my God, you guys will feel great.
we pride ourselves on finding interesting people. That's actually, so here's how you got on the show. I'll be frank with you in front of everybody. Okay? Story.
Please.
Interesting, female, blonde hair, attractive. I'll tell you why. Because we're in the scroll stopping. We're in the entertainment business.
Truth still needs a hook.
So people are scrolling by, right? So it's like, okay, we got to find somebody who's going to stop the scroll.
I call myself an intuitive momentum coach because personal trainer wasn't quite fitting, spiritual life coach wasn't quite fitting. Like none of this is disconnected from one another. There's a place for all of it. But if we just take a little bit more ownership in how we feel, you know, and stop giving our power away to these metrics and these grades and these, you know, what the scale says. Hey, shit, man, if you feel good,
Feelings beat spreadsheets.
congratulations, you did it.
And that's the average person. The
Yes.
person that realizes that they're after a feeling. You can sell a feeling
That's why clarity is rare.
to them, but they're fucking far and few between.
If you are self-aware and you become more self-aware, that's your consciousness rising.
Self-awareness breaks manipulation.
And when our consciousness rises, we have access to the field of consciousness that is all around us, and that connects me to John, it connects me to Keith, it connects you guys to me. I was at home in a furnace room during COVID with like very little even knowledge on how to train anyways, but I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna listen to my body
Most people outsource that voice.
here, and that's where
Oh,
that
no.
feel the happiest in this life. And you know what? A lot of the time, people forgot what that was. They didn't have an answer,
They
or
don't
like
know.
what makes them who they are. So getting back to that unique frequency of that individual was just life changing. Because then when they started feeling that again, and whatever it was, you know, they are what makes them happiest. Shit, that's when they're gonna be happy they did this, not when they're doing, you know, 5 unassisted pull-ups.
Nobody is going to tell us what we want, for Christ's sake. It's
No,
gonna self-discover.
Freedom scares followers.
Can you imagine a humanity that is self-governed and that has their own self-authority? What a beautiful place that'll be. The best piece of equipment and the best piece of technology you will ever have is right here. You
Yeah, your
don't
own body.
need a thing. There's all these, you know, there's barriers.
What about the person that says, I don't have time to get to the gym during my lunch to do cardio? Go for a fucking walk.
Give it 20 minutes.
Consistency beats motivation every time.
20 minutes of everything. If after 20 minutes it's taking more from you than what you're getting, then that's a sign that maybe some rest is a good idea, or sitting down, reading a book, whatever. Then be proud of the 20 minutes you put in. So give anything 20 minutes. But again, it's about the
4
frequency,
a.m.
not the idea. You don't have to, just because you have this plan, you know, that says you have to do this, this, and this, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, your body might not agree with that.
It's all about, I'm here, I waked up, when I get up and I get moving, and I'm here to start my day. What do I have to do in that little space of time to create that feeling?
Feelings follow actions, not plans.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In that moment, you are connecting with your mind, your body, and your soul, whether you believe in that or not. You truly are. Why are we separating it?
Fragmentation keeps people confused.
Why don't we just put everything together? And again, it all comes down to our own energetic frequency and coherence. And we can do that through one thing. Whatever it is for you, tapping into what makes you feel the best. For me, okay, what makes me feel the happiest? What am I doing where I lose track of time? What makes me unique and special?
And Dr. John Petricelli, who's our resident bullshit professor on the show, is a co-host on Fridays. He's been a guest on the show. He's paying attention right now, and he would kick my ass if I didn't ask you the tough question.
And who are we to think that we are just like meat and bones? Like if you look at an atom, there's a bunch of empty space within that empty space. So who are we to think that we're not separate from the earth, who's having like all kinds of volcanoes and earthquakes right now?
so many fucking things that are not fucking proven
Mystery terrifies control freaks.
that will blow your fucking mind.
I was finding by the end of 2025, like, I don't know if my light was halogen, but it was starting to fry a little bit. I drank every day. I followed the poll to start taking care of my body, but I wasn't ready to quit drinking until 2022. I didn't just wake up one morning
Change is cumulative, not cinematic.
and was like, that's it, new me. Like, no.
How many people have you ever heard on their deathbed saying, you know what? I need more money. I need more zeros in my bank account. No. They're saying, I wish I'd spent more time with my loved ones. I wish I'd spent more time with myself. I wish. And not one of those wishes has to do with a goddamn number.
The scoreboard lies.
Do not get distracted by the numbers.
What made you wake up one day going, I want to go and clean people's teeth for a living?
So you really, you know, you see some vulnerability. It was a wonderful profession that taught me so much compassion. Oh my gosh. I knew we were twinning in so many ways. Hanging out with myself just didn't feel like a comfortable place. Karen, like, okay, this is it. Like, something needs to change now. You need to get to work and it needs to start with you. It always has to start here with us.
It starts with your own mirror.
Avoidance ends there.
And that is, I really, truly feel like this is where things start to get better in this world. When we start to become more self-aware, then we begin to have a higher perspective and more compassion
Understanding yourself lowers the temperature.
for those around us, because we understand others a little bit better when we understand ourselves. That I'm super proud. And it was 2 nights ago where I told that version of me that very same thing, because now again, I feel like there's a chapter that's changing here. And because I'm aware enough to recognize when the certain phase that I'm in is super uncomfy, which is what got me out of that phase from before. I am not going to spend any time regretting anything, because we're all here like doing the best that we know at the time. And if I am in an accident, do not tell me to meditate. But again, we can make these systems better by understanding ourselves and bringing our own coherence into the system rather than waiting for the other way around. It's going to be people like you guys who are sharing these messages for people to maybe, you know, open their eyes a little bit. That's the first step. When we begin to kind of be like, that's when more self-awareness starts. I never thought I'd be doing the things that I am doing today. And I was always, you know, growing up, always, it was my weakness that finally showed me my strength in so many ways. I love meaningful conversations. It is like my favorite thing in the world.
Lights go on or there's the moment, right? So what I love about Karen, Johnny, is that let's admit, she's very relatable to a lot of humans that would listen to the show.
For sure.
That have been fighting the kitchen, fighting the bottle, fighting something. And then whether it's 30 or 40 or 50, waking up going, I got to get my shit together.
At 6:30 sharp, I have a Zoom with a positive hacker because I got to fucking recover a piece of social media. And that's all I realized. I'm fucking like willing more of this by fucking giving it attention.
Attention feeds what you fear.
They're fucking strong. But it's like, well, I should say for someone who's healthy, they're fucking powerful. You know, so it doesn't take fucking much. And so like 250 micrograms, so that's 1/4 milligram. That's the dose that works.
I seen an article yesterday, 15 great peptide serums you should try for your skin. It was in a women's like publication.
What's new is the peptides that you know Big Pharma wants to make fucking, you know, the amount of money that is in just the GLP medication or treatment. All of a sudden now there's a variation of a fucking peptide where there's trillions of dollars involved. Now it becomes a very different dynamic. I mean, it all comes down, you know, what's the follow the fucking money.
Well, that's what it is, 100%.
Large stream of money.
Yeah.
Well, fucking You know, you do that for a couple months, you're all fucking sucked up. You look like you just got fucking escaped from Auschwitz. You know, well, it's fucking crazy. Well, you know here's the fucking the best part about this.
Yeah.
She lost 4 pounds on the scale.
No, oh, there's the number. Yeah. Yeah.
But the point is, and I told her, don't fucking care
Yeah,
about
yeah.
She's having to buy new fucking clothes because all her clothes are fucking falling off of her. But she's only lost 4 fucking pounds.
Blockbuster offered Netflix $50 million.
Refusing to pivot is a decision.
5-0.
Blockbuster tried to buy Netflix.
Yeah, for $50 million.
If there's a way for fucking people not to get off their fat asses, bet on that.
Blockbuster did not get off the train to retire, to move forward. They tried to stay on the train while Elon's getting off the train.
When I was in my cool getup, walking towards my pink fucking vehicle, my getup was cool. My walk is way off. Look at the face. I don't even think that was me.
Oh my God, the getup. Man, it's just the ridiculousness of all this AI crap we live in, man. This world of ridiculous.
I'm all for it, but it's we got to tell, because you know the AI keeps
I
getting
know.
further and further away. You got to tell them, hey, go back to the fucking original avatar because you're getting loose here.
Jimmy, the only person that showed up was mom and dad. Now looks like we have hundreds of people that show up every single day, and I thank you for that. And in my experience, when most people think that one who's talking the least is not because they're shy, it's because they're actually collecting the room. They're paying attention to the room. And they're paying attention to the signal within the words, not the noise. And look, I know I'm good at that. And that's not to be self-congratulatory. It's just something I believe in, a self-belief. Listening is the hardest skill
Because it removes your excuses.
that, in my experience, humans still today struggle with. If you can't listen, you are going to have a difficult time leading. Because leadership, especially leadership, isn't about being right. Because listening is how you keep a team from quietly quitting while still showing up. And the truth is the most valuable currency in business, in relationships, in leadership, period. Listen long enough that the other person surprises themselves with what they say. And then as they're talking, watch what happens.
Nation, go quiet for 20 seconds and watch what happens. If you can't do that, you are the problem.
If you keep needing escape days, something's wrong. Not with your calendar, with how your life is set up.
Today we identify what needs rebuilding. No spa day bullshit, just truth and a plan that resets your enthusiasm for your own life.
Only on Mornings in the Lab. Welcome to the big show.
Welcome to Mornings in the Lab, where accountability partner here to help you start your day. Complacency isn't peace. No, it's your slow death.
I love why this whole segment is them fucking to me about this.
How to compromise without losing your balls.
Everybody's trying to win. Nobody's trying to solve.
Live beats perfect every time.
Reset is a decision, not a calendar date. Don't chase details. Chase the lesson.
Good morning. Good morning. Hey, team, I don't want that old stuff. No, we don't want the old stuff. We just want the new stuff, the stuff that I dropped last night. True story. We got to get after it, guys. Hey, good morning. Welcome. If today sounds like salvation, the problem isn't your schedule. No, it's that your life is running on an outdated setup, a setup that everybody thinks was okay yesterday. People just don't I'm just telling you, people don't recognize it's hard. It's hard. You got to go every single day harder than the next. Hey, today we're going to identify what's broken, what's outdated, and what actually needs rebuilding. Oh yeah, read between the lines, rebuilding, so you stop wanting to run from your own life. Hey, coming up on the big show here today. But first, welcome. Get the snare, please. Good morning and welcome back to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. The live morning show for real talk, motivating content, and entertaining conversation. Built to help you start your day right, clear, focused, and with positive energy. I got an invitation for you, and it goes like this. Like the show, subscribe to the show wherever you're watching or listening, and jump into the comments. Yes, let us know if you ever get the urge to escape your own life and tell us where you're tuning in from. I see you out there, Horwood. We're going to have a big one here today, buddy. Good to have you out there. I see you out there as well, Sam Dora. And I know Good Time is out there as well. This is an R-rated experience, so if you are easily offended, hey, brace yourself. And if you have kids around, put those headphones on. And yeah, don't hit that snooze button. Because you've been snoozing since 2026 started. You are now 4 hours and 30 minutes behind. And the handsome chief has been waiting for 30 days now to wonder when a graphic is going to show up during his morning monologue. Yeah, true story. Hey, we are your daily accountability partner to help you get your day started right and to guilt trip you out of hitting that snooze button. Yeah, not that we've been talking about snoozing forever, yet we just seem to can't line up around that. Anyways, we're starting hour one with the morning loop. In today's current conversations, first, we're going to go back at the headlines. Everyone's watching. Maybe they solved pancreatic cancer. And listen, we are no doctors on this show. Nobody's a doctor, but we're going to talk about it. And then we're going to get into, we got a bunch of good things, man. The Neuralink. Yes, Neuralink. DeepMind. We got Tesla, SpaceX. Yeah. So listen, I'm going to get to our current events that I got coming up here today. SpaceX and Tesla might be doing a merger. We got Google Deep Gemini coming up there. We got meat livers living to 100. We got SpaceX XAI. Hey guys, let's get the show on the road. Yeah, you guys know where I'm coming from. The morning loop starts right now.
Greener grass is often just better lighting. When the storm hits, it looks the same.
If you keep searching for exits, you never build roots. You become a professional runner from yourself.
We'd escape John, though. He thinks Sterling and I are the emotional guardians of the lounge.
John sees teamwork and says couple. John, we're coworkers. The only thing we share is the coffee table. And pitcher.
Stop chasing greener grass, build greener habits. We'll break it down in Morning Loop. And John, my wife says hi.
All right, guys, here we're open the phone lines up in the second hour. 431-300-3005. It's Friday. We got the bullshit professor in the house. Yes, he is. Dr. John Petrocelli is joining us in the second hour. 431-300-3005. Come say hello or come send me a text. I know because some of you guys like to send text messages, and I'm all over that. Send me a text over the weekend. Hey, coming up on Tuesday. We got Brown Abbas. No safe words. Our sex are criminal. Yeah, our clinical sexologist will join us in the show here on Tuesday. So if you guys got some comments, questions regarding what's shaking with Brianna Bass, yeah. So just excuse me for a second, nation. Excuse me for a second. Well, so I'm a big believer in morning conversations, because here's the time you get to address your audience, your stakeholders, your team, and yeah. All right. So you guys want to join the show? You can come say hi in the comments. You can do that. Or we can get after our morning monologue right now, which I'm going to start right now. Yeah, true story. All right. So listen, guys, numbers are setting us off sideways. And I am just going to, coming up in the bottom of the second hour, we have a monologue that I'm going to drop for you guys, which has to do with the distraction of numbers. And numbers are everywhere. And yet we seem to be finding ourselves getting just distracted by them anywhere. So let's just get into it for a second. You guys ever notice how numbers just seem to become the new religion? We just don't use numbers anymore. We obey them. Speed limit says 50. People go like 50. It's a commandment. It just doesn't matter if it's raining, it's icy, you're half asleep, or you're in dumpster fire. It's just the road. It's everything. Yes, your watch tells you slept 72% good, and you're finally like, well, but I guess I'm like a little weak human today. Meanwhile, your body's like, bro, I feel great, but the number wins every single time. So later on in the show, I'm going to get in on this. When the numbers help, when the numbers become noise, when the data guides you, and when Kylie starts to drive you off, when you're losing something dangerous, when we outsource our life. Yeah, so stick around. This one's coming up for you guys. Second hour, we're going to get after some conversation around numbers, how they're wrecking our life all over the planet. All right, let's get it going, guys. Let's get the show on the road here. The handsome chief is a little bit rattled this morning here, so let's get it. The morning short, the Cheerios recall, a lesson in zero accountability. Do we have something for this one?
Stop. Put the spoon down. If you're eating Cheerios this morning, you might be eating more than just toasted oats.
We're talking rodent waste, Frankie. The Gold Star recall is real, and it's nasty.
Not just cereal, Pringles, Nutella, the whole dad snack stack.
That's the point. Not a mistake, a breakdown in accountability.
They found insanitary conditions. That's corporate speak for we stopped watching the gate. Think about it.
Men, wake up. We recall our standards daily, let rodents into habits, then act shocked when life rots. Good enough is how giants fail. If you won't feed kids filth, stop feeding your brain excuses.
Accountability is the fence. Recall your good enough habits today. What's one habit you're recalling today? Drop it in the comments. We're holding you to it. Sub for more. Let's get it.
Clean house, no excuses.
Pride myself in giving you guys stuff you guys can take home with you. Well, we know we like to promote the don't have processed foods, but some of you and some of us still like to get to the grocery store and open up the pantry and put those processed foods in there. Well, listen, Cheerios. Yeah, we grew up with Cheerios. Some of us grew up with Cheerios. Cheerios is among nearly 2,000 products pulled in a sweeping recall because they might be contaminated with rodent and bird contamination. Yeah. So here's the thing, though. Maybe there's something to be said around the accountability of this entire situation, where it looks like we missed. Yeah. Okay. So what's the accountability, guys? Team, we missed the point of this note here, guys. The point of the note here was accountability for the decisions we're making. And listen, if we can't keep our own house clean, why are we going somewhere else to buy somebody else's dirty stuff? So, yeah, this is spiking because it is a strong gross out hook, massive brand list, clear consumer action. Gold Star said the recall covers FD regulated. But here's the thing. I got to find my notes, you guys. Hang tight 1 second here. I got to get something here, guys. I there's some stuff I found in this study yesterday, in this note yesterday. I wanted to pull up for you guys. I want to talk about here, which is give me 1 second. Yeah. So to me, this is about standards. Yeah, it's about standards. And you know, it's you've got a multi-billion-dollar chain because somebody missed the standard. They thought it was good enough. And if anybody can read between the lines of what I'm saying right now, I think we are all on the same page. But I got my notes here. They seem to have missed out getting into our document here this morning. So, all right, let's get to the next one here, guys. Let's get to the next topic here this morning. Apparently,
Headline says cure. Slow down. This win happened in mice, not humans. 3 drugs, 3 models, serious signal, but no trials yet, and mice don't pay the safety bill.
So our move is boring and lethal. Buy time. Sleep, lift, labs, checkups, and talk to a clinician early.
all right, guys. So apparently they found a cure to pancreatic cancer, and it's a Spanish team at CNIO led by Mariana Barbasad reported that a 3-drug combo made pancreatic cancer disappear in mice across 3 different mouse. And they also said they didn't see the usual comeback problem in those models. Now, here's why this might matter. Think of cancer like a house fire that keeps reigniting. One drug's like spraying water on one corner. This combo hits these 3 key switches. The reality check is this. This is not a human cure yet. No, Barbasad explicitly said there's not currently ready to run clinical trials. But here's where it comes down to, guys. The science is moving super fast. So we're not here to tell you what's working or not working. We really want to lean into the idea of accountability, right? That if you're taking care of yourself, on a daily basis, there's a good chance that you're not going to have to worry about this. Yeah, we missed the notes on this, guys. We're missing the notes. Guys, let's bring Johnny Anderson to the lab. What's up, brother?
What's up, brother?
How are you today?
Focused?
Hey?
Is my camera focused?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, you're kind of medium focus.
I was having a hell of it. It was like I was trying to come in. It was like, fuck, they're going to be talking to just this blur. You know?
The Blurry Anderson. Hey, speaking of Blurry Anderson, we got some breaking news this morning. They have finally found potentially a cure for pancreatic cancer. True story. You know what made me think about this, brother? Is that I wonder if during our lifetime, and I'm serious what I'm going to say next, I wonder if during our lifetime, we actually might have them solving cancer. Because you know how we grew up as like, hey, imagine if they solved cancer? It was like 2 things. Imagine if they solved cancer. And then the second one was, hey, can I get a pill to lose weight? Well, we got the pill to lose weight. I wonder if they're actually going to solve cancer.
You know, you could argue that other very primitive civilizations have already got an upper hand on this.
Oh, talk to me.
Well, if you go and you look at some of these, like, and by the way, my apologies for coming in a few minutes late, man. I was like, I was in and out trying to get my camera to focus. A minute late is okay, but 2 or 3 or whatever it was is unacceptable. So my apologies.
That's all right. It's all right. Yeah.
That sounds like I was just avoiding the slapping of the team again. So
yeah, this is true. Actually, yeah, this is true. I'm actually kind of beside myself right now. But that's okay.
We'll reel it in, baby. We'll reel it in. Here we go.
Yeah,
so
100%. Yeah.
In these civilizations, I mean, granted, they don't have the same cancer-causing agents that we do, but when they get, really fucking, and there's a lot of documentation of this. When they identify cancer, they'll put someone in a hut or whatever. They just leave them in there. People go visit them, but they don't move. They don't do shit. All they do is drink water. They won't eat for like fucking 30 days. They starve it.
Oh yeah.
Cancer feeds off sugar. You think about where we are, someone gets fucking sick, and everybody, their fucking brother shows up with fucking brownies. Oh, let me make you feel better with these brownies.
Yeah.
Let me feed the very thing that's eating you from the inside out, And so anyway, there's like, I think there's a lot more, I shouldn't say, hard to be diplomatic or politically correct talking about this topic, but, because everybody's got some story about somebody that got eaten up by cancer. Me too. But I think that we're in this world where especially Americans, I think that we're in this cancer haven. It's like we're bred in this cancer haven.
So I unfortunately lost somebody to cancer this week. My brother's mother-in-law, I talked about last week, she succumbed to leukemia this week. So yeah, she took her last breath a couple days ago. But it makes you wonder if we are, and here's something. We know that the food pyramid was flipped upside down a couple weeks ago, so maybe that's going to help move people in the right direction of eating better foods.
Well, and check this out. Another thing that I've actually stumbled across, and I've gathered a couple of these. Yeah. The newest one, actually, the very first few that I saw that I gathered, I don't know if I still have them, because every time I see a new one, I kind of pitch the old one. But there are actually a handful of peptides involved in this newer one.
You tell me.
It's not majority peptides. But it's basically, it's a fucking long list of shit that you would never ever do all of this unless you were fighting for your life. But I know firsthand 3 people that beat cancer following these directions.
Really?
Yep.
Well, so hold on. I'm going to be Petro on here. Beat is a big statement. You would agree? Like that's a pretty big statement to say.
Remission, whatever you stopped it, whatever the term is, because you never. I mean, we all have cancer in us right now.
Yeah. Well, it's a scary topic, man. It's a scary topic. I was when I saw that this morning, I was like, wow, that's pretty significant. Regardless of how real it is, how soon it happens. But I'll tell you what also happening, brother. So
I'd love to hear this discovery.
Well, so yeah, so it was. Let me find it here. It has to do with mice, and it's well here. I'm going to find it. Let's do this though. Before we get to that one. I want to talk about this one too. Have you seen Ryan Seacrest lately?
Have not.
Jimmy, put Ryan Seacrest on stage because it links to this next question, this next video on the show.
Jimmy, take a deep breath, babe.
Come on. Check him out. So here's Vanna White, but look at Ryan, dude. And I don't want to, no judgment, just observation, because it links to the next one. So here he comes. Dude, what happened to his face?
Is that the same fucking guy from 100 years ago?
Dude, that's Ryan Seacrest. That's like Ozempic face, Johnny.
Well, I mean, Vanna White, she's fucking like, is that the same fucking Vanna White too?
Yes, but look at Ryan's face, man. Like he looks like he's, and I want to, because I got a conversation here on skinny fat and pancreatic fat and MRI studies, but I saw his face, dude, and I just, we talked.
They call that a Ozempic face.
Well, that's what folks are terming this, which is Ozempic face. And I saw that and I was like, dude, where did handsome Ryan go?
Well, there's a difference between starving yourself. So your body gets all fucked up in the process and, doing it. And keep in mind, I mean, Ozempic is definitely the more archaic of the 3 generations.
Yes.
But if you were to have some direction, it would have a different outcome.
Interesting. Well, listen, so there's an MRI study that links skinny fat and pancreatic fat patterns to faster brain aging. New research published in Radiology reports that where fat accumulates in the body, weight may actually matter more for long-term brain health than overall weight. Jimmy, let's run this clip.
This MRI study says the scale can lie. Where fat sits predicts faster brain aging. They found 2 risky patterns in 25,997 MRIs. Pancreas heavy fat and normal BMI, high internal fat linked to gray matter loss. The value is simple: train muscle and waist. Track blood pressure and labs, and talk to a clinician early if worried.
So, dude, not a small study, almost 26,000 people. They identified 2 previously unrecognized fat distribution patterns tied to cognitive decline, gray matter loss, and higher neurological disease risk. And they're kind of linking it to the skinny fat profile, Johnny.
Well, check this out. If you think of it like this, it's very overly simplified.
Okay, yeah.
A fat cell has many, it's obviously a store of energy.
Yes,
right?
Yes.
But it's also a fucking store of toxicity.
Yes.
It's a fucking waste bin.
Yes.
So when your muscle mass is heavily reduced, which is not toxicity, and you're basically, your fat is increased or stays the same skinny fat.
Yeah.
You basically just totally change the ratio of your body toxicity versus non-toxicity tissue.
Yeah. I found so when I saw this study and then I saw the picture of Seacrest, I was like, dude, what's going on here? Because and I'm seeing more and more people look this way, and it's just like, dude, is that the direction humans are going to look like, which is this really gaunt looking face on human beings? It's like, come on, man. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, it's at some point, I think the cattle get out of the bag, you know.
So here's the next question for you. Now this is a big one, brother. So Elon's in the news with us today. Well, actually, Elon's in the news big time today, and I'm not sure if we got everything ready, but a couple things. So Tesla, XAI merging, boom, boom, biggest IPO in history. Put that aside, but get this one.
What was the other one? Tesla and what?
Tesla, SpaceX going to merge.
Oh, really? No shit. That's the IPO that's coming?
Yeah, so I misspoke here. So it would be XAI and SpaceX would merge, and the potential would be a $1.5 trillion IPO, the biggest IPO in history. But before we do that, Elon's got another company. This is pretty cool, man. We've talked about Neuralink before on the show. Jimmy, let's run this clip, man, because I got a question for John once we run it. Okay.
New warning. AI memory can store years of your life. Privacy rules look fine, then the data still accumulates. Vitalism wants faster access to experimental longevity treatments. That pressure can turn your health story into a product. Protect yourself. Share the minimum, use temporary chats, and purge histories. If it's sensitive, write it on paper.
That's not the right clip. There's they put a chip in a fellow named Sebastian Gomez Pena, a former medical student paralyzed from the neck down after an accident, has become one of the first UK patients to use a brain interface, and he says that his experience has been magical. That he actually has he's starting to live somewhat of a more normal life compared to what he had before this injury. So here's the question for you, and Elon was talking about it yesterday. Would you put one of these chips in your brain?
You know, honestly, at this point, I would have to say I would need to ask a whole fucking shitload of questions.
Yeah, well, and so would I. But it certainly is. I wouldn't say no, but I wouldn't. I just would need so much more information. You know, think about this, right?
Information is power. Information is king. You know, I mean, It's like we know that, you know, there are benefits to chemo. There are also fucking tons of non-benefits to chemo. Let's say.
Yes. The device uses almost 1,100 electrodes inserted into the motor cortex of a robotic system, and it wirelessly transmits brain signals. So,
the concept, I totally, I mean, at a very basic level, I think the concept is fucking, you know, the potential of it is fucking amazing. You know, Elon has made it his mission in 2026 to help people that are blind to see again. So they've got a product out of the Neuralink platform called Eyesight. It's called, actually, and they've narrowed in on your ability to, you know, spot those neurons, to make those neurons fire so you can see. So they're hoping by, you know, this time next year they have dozens of patients that are blind right now that can actually see. That is crazy shit, dude. I mean, it's you know, it's fucking crazier is that I guess it's like you've got a guy. Elon, who has all these he's got these fucking visions in every which direction, you know. I mean, I've heard him say, I have so many ideas it hurts.
Yes. So here's something else he came out yesterday.
Now we're starting to get a taste of his pain, man.
Here's something else that came out yesterday too. I'm just trying to find it. They also announced yesterday. So I've had a Tesla since day one. Obviously, I've talked about it on the show, and they have that full self-driving package. Well, we've also talked about Elon having a $1 trillion a compensation package. Well, for the first time ever, John, they announced yesterday that the company has approximately almost 1 million active full self-driving subscribers. But that's not the point. Elon's going to be remunerated now on everybody that signs up for one. So essentially, for him to get his $1 trillion pay package, it's going to be linked to how many people are buying his full self-driving package on his cars. So, and I find that fascinating because salespeople are always motivated by in business we use tactics to motivate salespeople. Well, the CEO is like, hey, you want to get your $1 trillion? Get people to sign up for full self-drive, and which I find quite fascinating, actually. But a million people, they've actually they've never announced that before. It's actually kind of big news. So, what Tesla's been on for 15 years? They've never said how many people are paying for their full self-driving package, and there's a million people paying for it.
Yeah, it's when it comes to one thing I've kind of learned over the years. It was when it comes to talking about Elon, never fucking be surprised.
You can't.
It's like after like the fifth time, like, oh my God, like this is just what he does.
Well, and you know what too, is I've been hearing him speak recently, saying things that I don't agree with, and I don't like some of the things he's talking. He's talking about, here's the thing. He's been dropping some commentary lately that I think is kind of offensive. He's talking about white superiority and whites becoming a minority and et cetera, et cetera. And he's dropping language that I don't frankly agree with.
No shit.
Yeah. However, I'm going to present this to you. Just true, Mark, Johnny. The guy is the world's richest human being.
By a landslide too, correct?
Oh, like even more than a landslide or two. So really, do you actually care about what anybody could you imagine that level of kind of like, I don't give a fuckness?
Yeah, like fuck you money.
Well, and it's even more than that. So you're like saying, no, if I want to be a racist, I'm going to be a racist. And I'm making an exaggerative point, but you know what I'm trying to say, right? Which is, maybe some folks that don't have as much as him won't say the kind of things he's saying. But I've just been watching his tone lately, and I'm like, dude, I don't like some of the things you're saying. Yes, I know you're the world's richest dude, but it's almost like you think that because you have that much money, you can just do whatever you want to do.
Well, I think, and I'd love to know your thoughts. I think you have to agree, but you probably have a different perspective slightly. His currency is not money anymore.
No, it's not at all. You're absolutely correct. Yep. It's not at all.
His currency is like, changing the world, but I don't know what it be exactly, but I would love to know exactly if he had to, in one sentence, what his currency is.
So I got to find the interview. I'll find it for next week. In so many ways, his currency is actually power, but not power in a way that we
I was going to say that too, but that's a very misconstrued word because
bingo. That's
power.
Yes.
You think Hitler, you know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah. No, but you're absolutely right. His currency is not money. His currency is and that's what I mean, which is when you get to that point where not having to worry about the value of money, do you find yourself saying things that you believe or you're trying to push the needle? Like, I just don't know why he's saying some of the things he's saying. And I'm not sitting here to offer judgment. It just, when you have that kind of wealth, do you insulate yourself from the rest of the world where you just don't give a fuck about anybody else? You know what I mean? So I'll tell you something.
You think about it, though, if he's one of the few elites that actually lets himself be visible.
100%. And you know what he said too? This I love this, man, because this is cool. So I admit I have like a love-hate with Elon. Here's the love part. So he at the earnings call yesterday, they're talking about the next chip that Tesla's developing. He's like, oh yeah, I'm developing it myself. Hang on that. So the world's richest dude, he goes on Saturdays. I sit in the lab on Saturdays and I'm coding the next A5 chip for Tesla. So himself.
That just clearly shows you that he knows that even the next best 10 brains underneath him wired together are not as good as his.
But I love that, man, because that just to me, this is where I find anyways, many founders, business leaders just kind of forget the founder mode. You roll sleeves up and you get into the trenches, you get into the weeds, and you show your people you're part of the team. And that to me is awesome. When I'm like,
it's fucking insane.
It is.
I think I've told you at our lake house, right across the lake.
Yeah.
By about 11 o'clock, 10:30 from our beach. Well, there's a dude named Carlos. I'm not going to mention his last name.
Yes.
That sits on the fucking board at SpaceX, like a few seats down.
Oh, yeah.
And this dude is fucking you listen to him talk, and if you're interested in business, or I mean, you listen to him talk and you just get your fucking cap peeled because he sees things differently. And
that's awesome. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and the thing about it is he's alluded, he doesn't say, you got to really, he's almost kind of cryptic in the way he speaks. You know, like sometimes he'll say shit on a couple of because one of my buddies knows him really well. And we'll talk about some of the things he says, and you realize there's so much more to what he says than you catch at first. But he's basically alluded to the fact that if you think that I'm fucking smart, you have no fucking idea.
Well, yeah. You know, it's speaking of smart. I don't got a clip to run here, but I want to talk a little bit quickly. So Anthropic, which is another one of the big AI models there's 4 big frontier models. Anthropic's one of them, and the CEO announced this week that his engineers now are actually using the AI to code itself. So just think, I want to lay this out for you. So their product is the nuts. AI.
Yeah, that's fucking nuts. This is where the runaway train starts.
That's exactly correct. So he's like,
the incline is just a little too much.
Yes.
Excuse me, the decline.
Yeah.
The brakes don't work anymore.
Well, and he's predicting that in the next 6 to 12 months, most of their software will be done internally by their agents, so basically recreating itself. But what I find fascinating about this, because I've been doing this now for a couple of years, I remember some of the things he was saying 2 years ago. Well, now we're 2 years into what he said 2 years ago, and he's like, "Yeah, this is what I predict over the next 6 to 12 months." And he's like, "I have developers now that actually don't develop at all. We just observe the AI coding and we make the tweaks along the way. Essentially, it's replicating itself." Hey, coming up, MJ Hurley will be here in a couple minutes. He's joining us in the green room there. It's funny, Johnny, when we invited MJ to the show, he's like, "Dude, if you're gonna invite me on the show just to sell me something, I don't want to be on the show." I'm like, "Oh, okay, I'm not selling you something then." Oh, kidding, MJ. I'm booking a coffee with you later to sell you something. I'm all kidding, Hurley. I'm kidding, man. I said to you, dude.
Podcasts are fucking podcasts. Well, I know we're not a podcaster. You go on there, and then a lot of times what it is they're fucking trying to sell you. It's just one big fucking hustle. They're really just pitching what they do.
Well, so the funny thing was that I purposely, and I'm being serious, I was purposely not selling MJ. I'm like, "No, dude, you got a bald head like Anderson. I want to come witness your bald head with Anderson so we can have a fun chat." I said, "No, you look like an interesting dude, and I think we'd have an interesting conversation." So MJ Hurley's coming up in a couple of minutes here on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. We're gonna do a reset here, and before we do that though, brother, you know how I was talking about vegan stuff yesterday? Well, I got one for you. Meat lovers live to 100. Oh, meat vegetarian diets are reaching 100. The fine print. Johnny, a study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition analyzed almost 5,000 Chinese adults aged 80 plus who ate nothing but meat. I think we have a clip for this, Jim. If we do, let's run it.
Researchers looked at 80 plus adults in a China longevity survey and asked who made it to 100. It ran 1998-2018. Underweight non-meat eaters had lower centenarian odds. The likely reason is calorie and protein density when appetite is low. This doesn't say plant forward is bad earlier in life. Value. In advanced age, frailty risk changes the nutrition priority.
So there you go, brother. So non-meat eaters look less likely to become centenarians, but only among underweight seniors. In very old age, avoiding weight loss and preserving muscle matters more. The people lived longer compared to people who didn't reach 100. So basically what they're saying is that those that ate meat lived longer.
I mean, and here's the thing. I totally agree with that.
Well, I know, because you eat meat.
Totally. But there's a sidestep of that.
Yeah.
If you're only eating meat and vegetables, you're not eating processed foods.
Well,
and dude, I just saw this thing. I have no idea if it's fucking real. So maybe we can ask Grok.
Yeah.
But that Pfizer is basically now owns, or the majority shareholder in all the major fucking cheese companies. And they're putting shit in the cheese to fucking give people symptoms so they can fucking know what drugs to be producing. It's that connected now. It's not even like, that.
Checking if Pfizer really owns cheese companies. Nah, that's not quite right. Pfizer doesn't own or hold majority shares in any major cheese companies. Never has, really. Back in the day, like the 1990s, they developed this lab-made enzyme called fermentation-produced chymosin, FPC, which is basically a synthetic version of the stuff that makes milk curdle into cheese. They sold that whole cheese-making division off in 1996 to a company called Chris Hansen, who now supplies it to most big dairy producers. Today, about 90% of cheese in the US and North America uses this FPC rennet because it's cheaper, more consistent, and doesn't come from baby cow stomachs. It's not putting shit in the cheese to create symptoms. There's zero evidence for that. The FDA approved it.
Yeah. So Johnny, it's there's no truth to that actually. There's some conspiracies floating on the social channels around that, but it's linked back to what they did create back in the 90s, which was like just this casein to make it curdle, right? But no, there's no truth to what's happening today with that stuff. So,
but stepping a step back. The argument there still becomes not really with that specific one is, Food and Drug Administration. Why are they one?
Well, hard to argue with that. I just think that, hey, we opened the show today. The big box of Cheerios and a bunch of other crappy boxes of food were all called back on a recall yesterday too. So again, to support your comment, if you're eating whole healthy foods, whether it's vegetables or meat, you're not worrying about these news on recalls. All right, Sophia Grant, MJ Hurley, Keith, and John Anderson this morning on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. Let's get after it. Center Stage starts right now.
You've done the work. You followed the process, and somehow it still comes back rejected. Not because it was wrong, but because it wasn't clear, and now you're paying for the redo. That quiet tax on time, money, and momentum is where today's guest lives. Michael MJ Hurley trains teams to get it right the first time, when the stakes are real. He works with pharma, life science, defense, and military teams where clarity decides speed, cost, and outcomes. Clients tell him his training helps submissions clear faster. When life-saving medicine is delayed, some patients don't get another week. That mindset was shaped early. He was a competitive college pitcher, trained to perform under pressure and master the fundamentals. If you're tired of rework, misalignment, and costly delays in your work or business, this conversation is for you. MJ, welcome to Mornings in the Lab. Let's have some fun today.
Hey, Johnny, you're going to love this one because we got FDA written all over this guy here, so we can get into a good chat with MJ Hurley. We got a guest who literally saves lives by teaching people how to write better. The guy's a 6'5" college baseball player at Virginia Tech with pro scouts watching him, and now he's disrupting big pharma, Johnny, by teaching them something school never did, how to write documents that actually work and get approved so people can get some life-saving medicine as soon as possible. Let's warm them up before I sell them something. MJ Hurley, welcome to the lab.
What's going on, guys? How are you doing?
How are you, pal?
Doing good. Y'all can hear me okay?
Loud and clear.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about my face, dude. I got this crazy story for you guys. So Sunday I'm in Charlotte and we got a little snow. I was out there just like shoveling, the driveway or whatever. And I come in, my wife's like, "Were you wearing goggles?" I was like, "Nah, I don't know what you're talking about." And so like slowly throughout the day, this like thing on my face spread.
Dude.
And I don't know, like I went to the dermatologist. They're like, "Don't know." It's like gotten better, but dude, I'm waking up every morning and it looks like I got punched between the eyes there.
No shit. So MJ, where are you, man? Like what part of the country in?
I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay, Charlotte. Oh yeah, you guys got a little bit of snow down there.
Yeah. Yeah, they're like talking like storm of the century, and it was like less than an inch of ice. So it was a total non-factor. But I don't know if it's windburn or what, but I got this crazy thing. I have to go talk to people, and I'm sure they're like,
brother, it's never as bad as we think.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I would have just thought you had just a skosh little bit of a sunburn is all I would have.
Yeah. No, this is fun. It's just what you look like, and then other people, and you're like, dude, is this guy for real coming on right now? So
actually, I thought you got hit by a truck. So Johnny's being a little more kind to you there. So I'm just kidding you, brother. I'm just kidding. So wait, so I was intrigued by what you do for a living, and you heard us kind of giggling about the FDA. And so forth. So talk a little about the Food Drug Administration, the subscription industry, and how you fit your way right in the middle of that, MJ.
Yeah, I mean, we're doing two things right now. Like the business that I'm a part of mainly is Hurley Wright. My mom started the company about 35 years ago. She's a PhD in technical writing, and the main kind of issue that we've realized that exists is that usually organizations, like to your point, Pfizer or whoever, they hire very smart scientists, actually, obviously to perform their testing, to develop drug product, the whole thing. The problem is that they're not great communicators typically. And so what often happens is they're hired and there's all these assumptions they get made. Like, you know how to write this report, you know how to write this SOP, you know how to write this. And so they just assume that because they're college educated and they've been in the industry a while, that they just have these innate skills. And what's happening is, from a process perspective, when things like managers and things get their hands on this documentation, they have their own opinion about how it should be written or what the FDA will think or what the FDA will say. And so what happens is there's a lot of back and forths that ultimately happen, a lot of iterations that happen. And, everyone always blames the scientists. Like, you guys need to write better. And what we've actually discovered is it's usually an operational issue that's causing delays in documentation, that's causing, proposals to not get win, those sorts of things. And so that's what we're helping teams like kind of uncover. It's not just like, yeah, your engineer may not write, but if you have 50 engineers and they all can't write, maybe it's not the engineer, maybe it's you or the organization or the culture.
So what are you writing though? So teach John and Keith, like, what are you writing? So we're getting a drug from Pfizer or from a pharmaceutical company. Are you helping them write what it's all about so that Keith and John know what it is?
Well, we help the internal process. So it's really, we're consultants / trainers. So helping them uncover, like, what is the root cause? Like, why are these delays happening? Is it the scientists who can't write? Is it the program managers who can't review? Is it that I had this one really interesting story where this guy called me and he was like, I need a technical writing course for my team. And I was like, cool, let's do our little diagnostic first and make sure that, you're not spending money on something you don't need. And we actually realized that, like, he was the head dude who was reviewing everything. And so what happened was he's a big egotistical 3 PhD guy. And so no matter what came on his desk, the first thing he does is just rip it apart and send it back. And it all becomes like, I would write it this way, I would do it that way, I would do it the other way. And so the clog in the chain is him. It's not that his team was bad writers, it's that he doesn't have a standard. There's no kind of organizational culture around how to do this and do this well. So he's causing the jams in the pipeline. But like, just to give you an idea, like, one of the best clients that we have is they deal with cold chain packaging. So they have to create basically coolers for medicine to be shipped in. And this is incredibly vital because, he told me, the owner of the company told me, like, we have to get this medicine to people in, like, sub-Saharan Africa, like, tomorrow. And if they don't have it tomorrow, like, they literally might die. And we're not talking like a huge window. We have to thread the needle. But the problem is they have to thread all of their documentation and all of their cold chain packaging products through the FDA and get approval. So any delay in approval is a delay in packaging. And any delay in packaging is a delay in drug delivered. So it's things like that have real impact. And so really that's what we do, is help teams. How do you streamline this? How do you get it, to good, better documents faster? And the secret sauce for us, so to speak, is we've done all this research into readability studies. So it's this whole science. There's a science behind how people actually read and diagnose information. And we are talking about the AI thing, and we're not anti-AI, but one of the things that people often assume is because AI created it, that it's therefore good. And we have tons of studies. In fact, there's a test I always like to put people through, where we had a client that created this one paragraph for the FDA. And I'm always asking, what is the ask? And no one can figure it out, because it's like, it sounds good, it's very technical, but it's like, what are we trying to get this person to actually do? And then you run it through AI, and AI gives a score of 90 out of 100, talks about how well written it is. But it's like, this didn't get approved. You lost literally a multi-million-dollar opportunity here because it went through multiple layers of review. The person wrote it. Everyone's like, this is great, but it didn't work. And so that's the thing that we're trying to show the spotlight on, is like, I don't really care the method of how you create it, but it does need to be successful. And are you measuring success? And most people aren't looking at that kind of endpoint. They're fascinated with speed and obsessed with speed. Oh, look, it created it faster. Cool. Did it work?
So to boil this down, brother, you're just basically helping present this. Is that right? Are you like,
yeah. Well, kind of. I mean,
put this into a language that like a couple of short sentences that the average is.
Yeah, I got you. Sorry, I nerd out on this stuff sometimes, man. Yeah, I mean, the best way to describe it is, make sure that the engineers can write, make sure the reviewers can review. And that's what it is, and helping streamline that process. So it's really helping them, training them to do it better, more effectively. We don't.
I'm like, because you use the example of the egos, almost like part of that process might be getting the egos out of the way.
100%. You get a CEO in there. He has a certain way to do it, and I've done it this way forever, and I'm experienced. And it's like, okay.
So you're kind of like a mole. You're going in to figure out what is the fucking this is a fucking roadblock when it should be a speed bump at most.
Correct. Everybody talks about like, I just want to sign off on it. And it's like, cool. Well, why are you spending 20 hours a week rewriting it? And that's the problem. But the other company, which I think is probably more interesting for you all, is we're starting a new company. We're like 8 weeks into this and actually dealing directly with the FDA. And we're creating an AI tool that basically is going to mimic how the FDA reviews. And so the use case for it is going to be, I don't know how familiar you are with like FDA submission processes, but like if you're trying to get a drug to market and FDA approval, that process alone takes like 2 years and it's multi-million dollars. So we're creating a product that's going to basically review it like the FDA does before you send it to the FDA. So it's going to be pretty interesting and fascinating, but we've talked to several people and I think that's going to have huge implication. But
MJ, when submissions come in, do they always come across like a desk like yours to review it to make sure that it's appropriate, or how does that work?
No. I mean, usually this is the blind spot is people think that if like you don't have, as long as I don't have grammar issues, it's well written, and it's like no, that's not true at all. So people often don't know how to review for like quality and things. So it's just one person's opinion versus another, and there's usually not standards and systems in place to measure it. And so it's largely guessing, really, is what it is. And so we've always done it this way. And it's like, okay, is it working? Like, well, we don't know.
One of those. Yeah, it's been in place so long, everybody's just used to it, and they don't want to step away.
Well, it's funny because when I think about these, we've always done it this way situations. Our tongues are one of those things where we just do things a certain way. Well, I can tell you something that I wonder if the FDA would approve this in America, Johnny. A company in China has invented disposable plastic tongue covers. They're like tongue condoms. And I'm curious to know, MJ, if this came across your desk, whether you'd approve this or whether you would, or whether you not would approve it. Jimmy, let's run this clip, man. Or Johnny, if you might want to wear this on your tongue, if you needed to, if you needed to block your taste or swallow bitter medicines without tasting them. But I saw this clip. I was like, what the hell is this? Which is a tongue condom for medicine or maybe for something else. I'm just waiting for the team to run this here. But this invention features thin, disposable Plactis films that adhere to the tongue, physically blocking taste buds to prevent detecting bitterness from traditional herbal medicines, as demonstrated in this video. Hey guys, can you run this clip here, guys?
How fucking weak-minded is a fucking person to have to put a taste bud protector on just to swallow a fucking get some medicine down the gullet, for the love of Christ.
Oh my God, it's ridiculous. It's well, is that what it is? Well, so I know it's so check this out. Yeah, there's she puts it on her.
That's unbelievable.
So would you approve that, MJ? Would that be something? And I'm serious. Would that be something? What I'm serious about though is that so if Keith and John invented this. And we wanted, so would this be something that would come across your desk so you'd write it so it could be approved? Am I correct with assuming that?
Well, usually what happens is like the manager calls us and it's like, hey, we're developing a tongue condom. And we're having a really hard time, like get approval. Can you help us write better? And I'll say, yeah, I can help you. But if they ask me like, is this a good product idea? I'd be like, I'm not so sure. So I'm not a consultant in that way. It's just helping them more concisely, more clearly explain what the heck they're trying to accomplish.
So that's what you would do then. Okay, so we throw this. So your job's not to talk about what, whether it's good or bad. Your job is to help us write this thing up so that we're able to get it to the FDA, right?
Yep, get it approved, get it written, get it approved faster so the FDA can get their hands on it and take a look. And
so protein powders, fitness stuff, all that stuff would come across you. Am I correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Worked with missile defense agencies. I mean, there's always some sort of board or something that ultimately needs to get approved. But yeah, that's the process is ultimately the same, usually whether you're dealing with like high-end, government officials or pharma companies or engineering. It's always kind of the same process. But the tongue condom's an interesting one. To John's point, man, that's the pussification of the world, as like that's life in a living color right there, man.
Well, that's exactly it. Hey, so let's go back to the beginning. You were a 6'5" pitcher at Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
And then you got a 70% baseball scholarship, and then the Atlanta Braves scouted you. What happened? How did you end up in the pharmaceutical industry and not the professional baseball industry?
Man, I have a crazy story actually. So I was never like a hard thrower. I was a pitcher, so I was never a hard thrower, always very like accurate. And so, like my going out of my junior year of college, I was having some looks from some small colleges like Furman, Appalachian State, D1, but nothing crazy. And I wanted to go to NC State really badly at the time. It was close. I just kind of was like, I like the Wolfpack and whatever. So the coach there, who's the assistant coach, his name was Billy Best. And, they're like, you're showing up to the camps and they're kind of like trying to not be assholes, but they're also kind of like no shot. And then my senior year, all of a sudden my velocity just jumped. Like I literally gained 10 miles an hour on my fastball. Went from like 86 to 96 in the course of like.
That's huge.
Oh God. I mean, unheard of. Just worked hard, grew into my body, got stronger. Like
good for you. Yeah.
I wanted it. I was one of those guys that, they always talk about like when you want to be successful so bad, you don't know what to do if you're not. Like that was me for about 8 months. So I was just like, this is all I'm doing. I'm not partying. I'm not like, I'm running, I'm working out, I'm doing my bands, I'm long tossing. Like this is going to happen. There is no plan B. This is going to happen. And so I hit 96 in a save. And Billy Best had gotten a job. He was at NC State. Now he's with the Atlanta Braves. And he comes up to me after the game and he goes, man, like, we project you as a 3rd to 5th round draft pick next year. And he shows me a spreadsheet. I'll never forget it. And he goes, 3rd round last year, got about, $420,000 signing bonus. Is that something that would interest you? And, at 18, and at the time, the only money I had was, I could cobble together, 99 cents to get a Wendy's junior bacon cheeseburger or something, so to put $420,000 in front of you, you're like, hell yeah, that interests me. You know what I mean? And then my dad was basically like freaking out. He's like, no, we're not going to do it. He didn't want me to be 18, like riding the bus with a bunch of grown men. He's like, I don't think you're ready for that. So we shut that down, went the college route. And then the saddest part of this whole story is I got I was driving home for Christmas break. So my fall season of Virginia Tech, I come in, I was like basically going to be the number 2 starter. They sit you down. They're like, we see you projecting 90 to 100 innings. Like you're going to be our weekend guy. And so, right where I wanted to be. Driving home for Christmas break, I fell asleep at the wheel. And
oh my goodness.
The rumble strips on the side of the road, like woke me up. Like I was literally dead asleep, woke me up going off to the tree. And I woke up and I just, you panic and you overcorrect the wheel and just did I think I did like a 360 through, and this is like a major interstate. This wasn't like, a backwoods road. Like I went through my 2 lanes, went through the median in the middle, tore up the guardrail that's in the middle that separates like the 2 different rows of traffic. And I stop an oncoming traffic on the other side of the road. Luckily there's no cars there. I was able to pull off and like get safe. But my car was destroyed. And, long story short, what happened was I didn't get checked out. I felt fine. And the next day, you know, again, I'm that dude where I'm like, if I'm in on something, I'm in on something. Like, I'm not partying, I'm not drinking, I'm all in. And so at the time I was in like probably the best shape of my life. And I remember the next day I went to go get a run in or do a workout. And like 5 minutes in, I'm like crazy dizzy, can't stand up, can't finish my workout. And I'm like, what the hell is this? And so that continued for a little while. And then eventually what started happening was, I don't know if y'all are familiar with like Rick Ankiel or Chuck Knobloch, where they developed the yips, where like just playing catch 10, 15 feet, I can't hit you. Like, I'm bouncing it, I'm throwing it over your head, I'm missing right. Oh, dude, I was scrambled. And so eventually that worked into like the mound where I just couldn't throw a strike. It was like I was just aiming the ball. You know, if you give me a 50-pitch bullpen, I might be able to throw 4 or 5 strikes. Like, it was just bad. And so I come in, like, you know, Baseball America, it was writing articles about me for the Big East that year. I was like the number 4 newcomer. You know, they're projecting me to go play in the, you know, Cape Cod, you know, like, which is, you know, it's big deal stuff. And, you know, whether I was ready for that or not, I don't know. But like, it was like overnight gone. And I was dealt with that for like 2.5 years, just couldn't throw a strike, man. And it was just a mental block, got worse and worse and worse and worse. You know, it was one of those things I tell people, it's like, you can't escape it. And it's like, imagine one day you wake up and you just can't walk and you don't know why. And you're like, I can't remember how to walk. And it's like something that's come naturally to you for so long is just gone and you don't know why. And so years later, I realized I had what's called a whiplash concussion, which is like your head shakes bad, but you don't actually hit anything. And you're basically get a concussion from it. So I had these concussions.
Really?
Yeah, dude. So I had these concussion symptoms for like 3 months, probably 6 months. And it just never got diagnosed. Thought it was something wrong with me. I was like overthinking everything. And then baseball career just crashed into the side of a mountain. And I came back my junior year. I worked really hard over the summer to kind of get over it. Had some good outings, some bad outings. I was kind of getting back to myself, but it was just a shadow of kind of what I was. And so that was the end of it. Got cut my senior year. And I always tell people the thing that pisses me off the most was every year after fall, they come in, they sit you down. You made the team. You didn't make the team. We see you as the starting shortstop, whatever. And that year they just posted a list and I wasn't on it. And I was like, boy, that is not the way I get down. You know what I mean? Like, I know I didn't live up to expectations here, but it wasn't for a lack of trying. And, you know, to put in 3 years and y'all can't even like shake my hand, be like, good try, sorry it didn't work out, and just post a list. That to this day, man, that sticks with me, and it kind of pisses me off, to be honest. But that's
interesting, actually. That's MJ Hurley, Keith Billis, John Anderson, Rico. I see your comment there. I know that feeling. He says, walking one day and not the next. And I'm sure, Johnny, as you're hearing MJ speak, you know, I know you've been around a lot of guys in that scenario where I'm sure you can relate to some of the things that MJ said too when it comes to concussions, right?
Oh fuck! Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I deal with the aftermath of having too many concussions as we speak, man. I'm
really?
my recall. It's like I'm only 54, just turned 54, but it's like as years go on. I mean, I'm probably at this year going to start some sort of a memory exercise protocol.
Oh, shit.
I mean, it's like I haven't talked about this much, but now that we got this laid on the table, it's like. Sometimes like I can't remember a fucking name of somebody that I've known my whole life. Like what the fuck, dude? It's
how many concussions have you had?
Too many.
I don't know. I mean, it's, you know, when you're the ones that really fucking matter are the ones where you lose consciousness. And I've had probably over 6 of those.
I saw a clip yesterday with Rob Van Dam, wrestler Johnny, and it kind of bothered me, actually. I'll just leave that aside there because I can only imagine what you've gone through, my brother, and I can only imagine the situation you went through, MJ. And I just that's a scary situation because we don't understand it. We don't understand it, right? So
I know.
Well, that's in a wrestling match, you know, fuck, like you gotta you get fucking knocked out And you wake up, and then you got to fucking figure out what happened, where you are, and what's going on. You know, like,
and still
one of the ones that sticks in my mind the worst. I got powerbombed from a giant, so my head was probably 10 feet in the air, and I knew it was going to be big. And he took me to the middle of the ring so it'd be soft, right? And we did all the protocols to make sure that it would be as safe as possible. I mean, my chin was tucked, and fucking it was everything I could do, and my head still snapped back, hit the mat, and of course, after that, he's going to cover me, but I'm supposed to kick out. This is the beginning of the false finishes.
Right? Yeah.
And he had to pull me up. You know, the heel. Thank God that he was a heel, because the heel can no, I want to beat up on him some more.
Yeah.
So I didn't hear any of the fucking slapping of the mat. I just hear he pulls me up. He just pulls me up, and he puts his head down. You okay? And I'm like, didn't answer at first, and I fucking realized, holy shit, what the fuck's going on? And he stands me up and starts fucking slowed it down a little bit. We had to kind of change course of the match, but then he knew he had to give me a minute or two to figure out where the fuck we were and what was going on.
Jesus Christ.
This is
when you get a concussion. When you get a concussion and that's it, it's very different than having to fuck. I mean, Jesus Christ, I had to get slammed another 4 or 5 times after.
Right. Yeah. That you can't. Yeah. The show must go on. I think I've had 3. I've never lost consciousness, but I've always been concerned about that kind of too, where it's like parents wouldn't let me play football, whatever. And I still have got probably 3 to 4, just doing dumb shit and never lost consciousness. No, but that's one thing I am concerned about, especially it had that large of an impact on me at a young age. But man, I'm sorry you're going through that, man.
I mean, it's but the thing is, I wear it like a badge of honor. It's like these are my choices. I knew the choices I made were going to have precautions, and it was going to take some extra work to deal with them, and that's one of the steps that I got to deal with.
Keith, John, and MJ Hurley coming up on the top of the second hour. Dr. John Petrocelli is joining us in a quick second here for some BS, no BS. Did you say dumb shit, MJ? Well, I'll tell you something, man. We have the dumb shit award we hand out here on the show every couple of days. Yes, yeah.
Well,
and
if I had known, I would have applied.
Was this you in Charlotte, MJ, a couple weeks ago driving your truck over the power lines? So guys, if the power lines are on the ground, you might not want to drive over them in your truck because.
But even better, why stop on top of them? Keep fucking going.
Look at this tool. Honest to God, MJ.
The worst part was he stopped on top of them.
I know.
You're gonna fucking go over and keep going.
I hate to be non-sympathetic, but it's also it's the Darwin Award, bro.
Well, that's what I mean. It's the dumb shit award. Yes.
It's all right, you're stupid.
Yeah, that's exactly
what he wants to do. You're stupid.
Man, MJ Hurley, I appreciate you hanging out with us today, bud. I know when I invited you out to have some fun with you. I hope your face is going to feel a little bit better. If folks want to connect with you or find you, or if you want to keep hanging out with us, where can folks find MJ Hurley?
Yeah, I'm on LinkedIn. Like I said, I'm MJ at Hurley Wright. I'm also we're starting that new company, MJ at Submittal IQ. That's going to be, I think, the one that. I think it could literally be a multi-million-dollar company that we're building with Submittal IQ, so we're really excited about that. But nice. I hate to be rude, but to John's point, I've been invited on 2 podcasts where the guy was like, "Oh, we talk to leaders," and you're like, "All right," and then at the end of it, they're like, "Sign up for our program, and we can teach you how to do this to other people." And I'm like, "So you teach me how to scam people and just lie to people? That's awesome." So that was my scar tissue that I was dealing with.
Dude, I understand. I can relate. So listen, because you're not wrong. And John, so listen, we are building a business here. There's no question we are. We're building a network. This is our morning show. We're building a network underneath this. So, what typically happens is people come on our show and they're like, how are you guys doing this? I want to be a part of that. I'm tired of my podcast, or I want to do something different. And then people ask questions. The next thing, so we were, people say, how can I get a show like yours and John's? So then we'll produce a show for them, right? So, so you weren't incorrect that there's a business being built here, but no,
so you did lie to me.
No, but I'm not booking a meeting with you later to sell you something. No,
I'm just kidding.
If you have interest in doing something like this, I'm here to help you. I seriously, dude, I wanted to have you on the show, and I'm being honest because we're in the entertainment business. I saw your bald head. My brother's bald. I'm like, yeah, this guy might be interesting. He's a baseball guy. He's an FDA guy. Keith and Johnny like to have some fun poking fingers at the FDA and
we talk a lot of sports shit. We talk a lot of FDA.
No, I love it, man. I love it. No, I'm just giving you a hard time. I love it. No, that's I appreciate y'all finding me and doing the thing. And I didn't know I was talking to the handsome chief. If I had known that, I really would have.
This is true. It's funny, guys. Actually, it's funny. So we hired a new teammate yesterday, Johnny, and she kept referring to me as chief. And yesterday it was like, hey, chief. And I corrected them, John. I said, no, please don't call me chief. Please call me handsome. I said, no, just call me Keith. 100%. MJ, dude, we love you, man. You come tune into our show. We're live 8:00 Eastern time, YouTube, LinkedIn, and X. And we'll see you on the feeds on LinkedIn, okay?
Yeah, appreciate y'all, man. Thank you. Let me know if I can ever support you. Yeah, thank you all.
All right, MJ Hurley's out of here. We got Lifestyle Tip with Anderson, resetting hour 2, and then Dr. John Petricelli is coming in to have some conversation with Keith and John. Let's do it, guys.
All right, it is. I mean by that, today's the day where you say, I've had enough of doing the shit I'm doing that's holding me back. What is that stuff? I don't know. It's unique to you. This weekend, the tip is to look at your daily rhythm, your loop, as I call it, and just pick out 3 things that are holding you back. Let's just say one is the snooze. You're hitting the snooze. Maybe the other one is you're eating sugar after dinner when you shouldn't be. Maybe the next one is you're drinking too much. Who knows? These are your issues that hold you back. But the tip is this: identify 3 things, make the choice to eliminate one. Eliminate the easiest one. And watch how over the course of the next week, your life gets better. You don't always need to do more. You just need to remove the shit that's holding you back. So it's just a test. But I promise you, you'll be very happy with the results. Rock and roll.
All right, guys, welcome back to hour 2 of Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. We just wrapped up a fun conversation with MJ Hurley, former college baseball pitcher turned executive trainer. We got into how discipline, clarity, and a coaching mindset translate into high-stakes work that saves some lives. Coming up, deep dive. It's actually National Bullshit Day. It was National Escape Day. We're going to ask Petro why people just like to check out on days like today. It's actually National Bullshit Day with our professor, Dr. John Petricelli. We're going to call it the lie that rest comes from avoidance and digging into what men are really trying to escape from. And then, yes, we're going to get into an idea of that humans are becoming unnecessary in an AI-driven world. That's actually not what we're talking about here. We got we're taking a page out of Petro's Substack. We're going to get into a conversation with John Petricelli's Substack coming up on hour 2 this morning on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends.
Calendar says National Escape Day. Let's be honest, it's National Bullshit Day.
The real question is simple. What are you trying to escape from in your own life?
Escape isn't recovery. It's a delay tactic that makes tomorrow heavier.
If your escape is screens, food, or booze, you're not resting. You're disappearing.
So we're renaming it Escape Your Excuses Day. One hard thing before 9, no negotiation.
If you keep needing escape days, something needs rebuilding. Let's talk about how.
There he is. Where's the Petro? Let's bring him up on stage. What's going on, brother?
Hey, what's up?
How are you today?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. What is shaking out there in the Carolinas this morning?
Well, we don't have any snow or ice yet today, but we'll see. So I'm doing some practice.
Yeah. Yes. You got
slingshot.
Oh, show it to me, but put it in front of the camera.
Yeah, I got John's slingshot here.
Yes.
And
dude, that is.
Yeah, I think maybe he put the wrong address on. He said they wouldn't send it to him, but It said John Anderson on it, but it had my address. So I don't know.
So dude, this is awesome. So what are you shooting rocks with that, BBs? You got little like pellets. Like what do you got to shoot with? Like that's freaking awesome.
Little biodegradable clay.
Yes.
Beads.
Yes.
And,
I'm just looking into the camera.
It doesn't seem to phase the squirrels that I try to scare away from the bird feeder.
Yeah.
So I have to, because I've hit a few and they were just like, well, what was that? And so what I try to do is hit the squirrel baffle, which is just kind of a big tin can that you put over, and they've already figured out how to jump over that. But when I hit the baffle, it really makes a loud, tin sound, and then they run off. Yeah, because they're always eating at least a half of my bird seed out there.
Would you not agree? Because I know we were talking about a couple of days ago, and you were tuning in there. Like this is a pastime that's actually been lost, eh? Like I'm serious. Like what kids do you know walk around with slingshots? And I'm not talking about doing harm, but just playing with slingshots. I don't think anybody does.
No, not much at all. No, and there's no.
So you showed your daughter that. What is your daughter? Is your daughter like, Dad? What is that?
Oh, well, she picked it up faster. Well, she watched me, and she picked it up faster than. Yeah. She was hitting the squirrel baffle before I was. She's got 20/20 vision, but anyway, yeah, it's and it makes very little noise.
Yes.
Yeah. Not even as much as a BB gun or anything, and that doesn't scare the neighbors.
So Petro, today is National Escape Day. Apparently January 30th is the day that we're supposed to check out, numb out, and avoid your life for 24 hours. Have you so here's a question for you. I know Anderson can hear us right now because we know he's going to say, why would I want to escape my life that I love? So let me ask you this. Have you ever actually wanted to escape your own life? True story. Nobody, your wife and daughter aren't listening, just me and Johnny.
Yeah, maybe a half handful of days, maybe like 5 to 10 days at most. Yeah, I love what I do.
I know you do.
I'm not thinking. My head is not in. What am I going to do in retirement or whatever? That's not even on the radar for me. So, very few. But I do think a large portion of the population is constantly looking for these excuse days. I mean, look at how many holidays we've got now, and if the holiday lands on a Saturday or a Sunday,
then
extending it, maybe Friday and to Monday. Schools have teacher in service days, but they've really expanded the number of days that students aren't in school. And a lot of those are actually optional, but some schools really take advantage of them because
I know
extra days off, and it's it just seems to expand more and more, these excuse days. Do
you think it's burnout, or do you think people are just avoiding shit? Like, what do you? So Johnny, today's national. So true enough, I know you're gonna rat Johnny. Today's National Escape Day. If humans don't need another reason for an excuse to do something, today's a day on the calendar where
at least they're honest with the fucking title of this holiday.
But you guys, so do you think it's a burnout problem, where people people want to take a day to avoid something, or is it just another excuse, Anderson?
Well, what the fuck do you want to do if you wake up and do something you don't want to do every day?
Oh, boy, when you put it that way, I guess that's really the truth, isn't it? That's actually the truth.
Dude, what is it that the study is just fucking closing into the 90 percentiles? It used to be 87. I don't know what it is now. Petro, what is it? It's like 87, almost 88%. And this is probably 10 years ago. People aren't fucking happy with what they do every day.
Yeah, large majority of the population they're still in that working for the weekend sort of mentality.
But how does that change? Let me ask this. So we can talk in circles around here, but how does that change, Petro? Like, or does it change, or is that just how society is going to be wired? There's a certain percentage of people that are always going to be just chasing what retirement is, or chasing vacation, chasing National Escape Day, and that's just what it is. We're just going to be talking about this ad nauseum. Is that kind of how you'd wrap it up?
Well, I think one way that I know that it can change is that you show up on time, You do what you're trained to do.
Yeah.
And you do that consistently for like 4 to 6 months. Okay. And things will change. It's likely that you'll get a promotion or you'll get other responsibilities in most work, because unfortunately that's well above average to find, conscientious people that are, that show up consistently and they're reliable. So if you're just conscientious and you're reliable, that's well above average today, and things will change most likely for you within 6 months, because people notice. So that's one way. That's what I tell my students, especially students that are not going on to graduate school and they're going right into the workforce, after 4 years of college. I said, you're well ahead of the game. You've been working in my research lab. You're well above average, because if you're not well above average, you're not going to be in my lab anyway. So I said, just continue doing what you're doing. You'll see things change. And
interesting. Speaking of
all the time, it works.
Yeah. Speaking about change, I want to shift direction from National Escape Day to something else quite fascinated about. Anderson, I don't know if you know, Petro has a Substack, and he did a feature piece here that I want to feature. I want to talk about it, which is, and this is pretty cool, man. Inside Nike's 84,000 square foot lab, where athletes become data. Let's run the clip and let's have a conversation about this.
Nike built an athlete lab the size of a warehouse. They measure everything. This is either genius or a very expensive magic trick. It's genius if the data makes decisions. Cameras and force plates don't care about ego. They kill weak ideas fast.
Now they're bringing the lab to stores. You jog for 30 seconds, they map your run. Pitcher hates it already.
That's the real moat. Measurement turns into a loop. Test, learn, tweak, repeat, and everyone else is guessing. The takeaway is simple. Speed of learning wins. If you can test daily, you can lap competitors who guess.
Dad, there's Petro on the sign there. Hey, Petro. So this lab is built like a science facility, not a gym. Johnny, it's built on top of the LeBron James Innovation Center in Oregon. It includes 825 plus testing equipment, nearly 100 embedded force plates measuring impact tens of thousands times per second, 400 high-speed cameras, motion capture. This is an athlete's performance analytics center. Petro, what drew your interest over there to talk about this?
Yeah, well, I was just taking a look at, what are they doing to produce all of these products that people are crazy about? So they've got pretty much anything that they start marketing, it sells out free, like almost immediately. You go to the websites and everything's sold out. But and then they also produced shoes. What actually really turned me on to this was in the 2020 Olympics, they actually banned the Nike Vaporfly, because they were saying that this was actually an example of like sort of mechanical doping or technology doping. And so now that you can wear the Vaporflies in Olympic sports, but they've actually, there's standards and guidelines for permissible use, but I figured,
what was it that made the Vaporfly banned?
Well, there's parts of, I think, the carbon fiber plates that they put in it that were supposed to give you sort of a little more like bang for your buck in spring, to use less energy over time. They said it was a disadvantage, but a lot of athletes were actually wearing these things, even if they weren't endorsed by Nike, and they were covering up the Nike logo, because like, okay, if I'm endorsed by Adidas, but I'm wearing Nike, you don't want to see that on camera. So a lot of companies actually permitted their athletes to wear the Nikes, but they said, but you've got to cover up the thing. But actually, the lab is actually right here in Beaverton. This is part of the LeBron James. You see this entire thing?
I do. That's the whole campus, isn't it?
Nike campus.
Yeah, that's more than 84,000 square feet. This is their campus.
Yes.
That is their, take a look at it on Google Earth, and it's, well, I mean, this thing is just massive. And they use this thing. They bring in athletes. They do, a few days of testing. So, they bring in your Tiger Woods, your Serena Williams, your LeBron James. And I mean, they have them go through whole gamut of tests, and they design these shoes. And I think actually part of what they're actually doing too is they're getting people, sports fans, sort of these highly advanced, evidence-based running wear, but they're also getting fans kind of closer to their beloved athletes, because these are the things that are sort of designed for those athletes, and so they make modifications after modification, several iterations, similar to the way that your digital companies like Amazon or Google would run. I mean, they could run thousands of experiments every day. They can make modifications to the interface and determine whether or not that's having any impact. But Nike's doing that. It's much harder to do that with physical materials. It's a little slower, but when you've got a campus as your lab and athletes that are coming to serve as participants to design shoes for them and others, that you really have an advantage in be able to facilitate hundreds of experiments, maybe not thousands per day, but probably hundreds.
Yeah. Hey, let's move from Nike's training facility to you watched last Friday at Alex Honnold decline, didn't you?
Yes. Yeah.
So did you? So I got to ask you. Were you nervous while he was doing it? Was it anticlimactic for you? Did you enjoy it? What was your thoughts on the whole experience?
You're talking about? Well, I thought you were talking about Mark Pattison.
No, I'm sorry, Alex Honnold, the guy that climbed the Taipei Square Tower last Saturday.
I didn't remember his name either, Petro. So don't worry about it.
Anything like that just makes me a little queasy. Even if it's AI, it's just
yeah.
And to be able to do these things,
right, Petro? Don't look down.
No, you do not look down. No. It's mind blowing. Some of the people that can do these things without all of the gear and all of the safety ropes to freehand it.
He got paid $500,000 for that. That's it.
It's a trip how, that Petra, maybe you got some insight on this. So there's a certain point in your life where, like you could be on a fucking top of a really, really high building, look over the edge and no issues. Then all of a sudden you get to a point in your life where you look over the edge, you're like, holy Christ, I feel like I'm going to fucking fall down. What is it? I mean, what is is that bullshit?
You're talking about the fear, the instant fear that you have
it's like a vertigo or something. Like I remember the first time that I looked down, like wait, I was like, holy shit, I got dizzy. Like I had to grab the fucking railing, like I was gonna fucking fall on my back.
Yeah, I've got a sort of industrial style ladder, and I clean out these gutters at least twice a year. And you don't look down because immediately you get the simulation of like, oh my goodness, I could really get screwed up here, but you keep looking up. You don't want to focus on reality so much, but once you get it, the ladder nice and secured, you don't look down. You just kind of ignore the fact that you're 20 feet in the air.
Don't look down, but look up. So last week, Anderson, Petro dropped us a little puzzle. Well, I went and found us a puzzle from Einstein today to put on the table for you two mofos.
I was teaching a class and wrote on the board, 9 times 1 equals 9. 9 times 2 equals 18. And he continued all the way up to 9 times 10 equals 91. The class broke out in laughter because Einstein made a mistake. The correct answer to 9 times 10 is obviously 90, not 91. And the students began to make fun of him. Einstein waited for everyone to be silent and then said, despite the fact that I analyzed 9 problems correctly, no one congratulated me. But when I made one mistake, everyone started laughing. This means that even if a person is successful, society will notice even the slightest mistake. So, today's reminder to you is that mistakes are a part of the process. As Einstein once said, the only person who never makes a mistake is someone who does nothing. If you're not following, you're probably never going to see us again. If you're, then congratulations. You're growing every day.
That's such a profound statement, eh? The guy, you know, he does 9 things right. He gets 1 thing wrong. Yet everything, like, all we do as humans focus on the mistake, Petro.
Yeah, and there's.
Well, I think the fact that it was
great video,
but it was something that there was Einstein that had more to do with it. Because I was thinking, okay, what type of fucking crazy mathematical equation is he going to show us of how that's actually correct?
Well, maybe that's the point, Anderson, though. Like to Petro, like that's the point. Like because your assumption is this is the smartest guy. How can he make a mistake? Johnny would be like me judging you because you made a mistake in the ring. Because I'm like, well, that guy's not supposed to make mistakes.
Dude,
it's kind of like that same.
I was one big fucking mistake.
Well, but that's kind of the point.
People in there with me.
But that's kind of the point, though, which is we rush to judge Petro. You know, Petro's an expert in bullshit stuff, and all of a sudden he makes one mistake, Johnny. We jump over. But
I guess what I was saying, go rewind. So I wasn't saying I was laughing. I was expecting to hear an explanation.
I see. Okay.
It makes sense. He fucked up. He's stupid. No, he's not stupid. He's fucking going to prove this to me here in about 5 seconds. He's the smartest motherfucker on the planet. Why am I going to laugh at him?
Yeah. Well, yeah. What do you see when you say Petro? Yeah, Petro.
Yeah, I guess the expectation of this is Einstein that plays into it, but it's also the mistake is actually not a mistake. If that actually occurred, he would have planned that to make the greater point that no, this is actually something. This is a failure with the perceiver to focus on only what's salient, and it's salient for 2 reasons. Because all right, he wrote the wrong answer, right? And it's rare, right? So it really sticks out, and people remember those things. People remember what sticks out at you, as opposed to
what's rare, that he made the mistake, or is it rare is that what's rare, that he made a mistake? Is that what's rare?
Yeah, that's rare. That happened 1 out of 10 just in that example. Now, if you reverse it and you say like, okay, well, this guy's lazy, he never does anything, and then all of a sudden, you know, he climbs Taipei building or whatever, right? Now that's going to really stick out at you, right? Because it's not something that you expect from the individual. So people remember things that are rare, that are rare and relatively negative, better than just about anything. They attend to it. Yeah. So it sticks out. We call this sort of perceptual salience. It's much easier to remember and focus on.
If you said to me define salient, I would say
I couldn't.
Need to go look it up.
Yeah, what does that mean, John? Petro?
Yeah, it essentially means what sticks out at you. So like if you're in your office and there's a snake on the floor, that's probably more salient than a bunch of these books behind, right? You know, so it's like what sticks out at you at your immediate external environment that you attend to. So something that's unique, something that's rare, something that doesn't happen every day would be relatively salient than the common things that are in your perceptual vision.
I'll tell you what's salient is the sounds that we grew up with. Jimmy, let's run this clip, man. Do you guys remember these sounds? Because there's people listening to the show right now that will not recall these sounds, but these sounds are exactly what we grew up with, growing up with. Let's run this, Jimmy. No? Here we go. Just listen. Remember that?
The cassette is so recognizable.
Oh, Johnny, but it's all those sounds. Like when I first found this clip, when I played it, like they're so unique. Like you guys, because we grew up with those sounds, and they're just such unique sounds that they don't exist today. You think about it, they just don't exist today at all.
Yeah, those are things of the
past. Much.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah, that really takes me back. It's almost emotion. It's almost emotional, you know.
This might take you back as well, because John, before you go,
John, before you go, what's this rebounder class? Mini trampolines and synchronized cardio. Is it real or just vibes? It's rebounding. Low impact intervals with choreography. It looks playful, but your heart rate gets serious fast. It looks like nightclub cardio. Why is it easier on joints than running? Why does everyone move like a boy band? The mat absorbs force. Keep soft knees, brace your core, and bounce controlled. Don't chase height, chase rhythm. Week 1 is 10 minutes, 2 or 3 sessions. Heels down, stay tall, breathe steady. Hey John, give us your protocol, duration, intensity, and your #1 form cue. No hype, just the rules that work.
I feel like it's stuff we grew up with too. I saw in the gyms, these ridiculous bouncing on that. So is that Johnny? Is that you on the rebound? Did Johnny still use the rebound in the morning? You done with the rebounder?
I mean, we have it. I always cycle through it for sure. I've never stopped using it, you know, just sometimes more than not. So figure like this, it's a great way to warm up, right?
Yes.
Because there's no impact and that's great for the lymph system.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So now granted, in this scenario, I think it's just another way to create an interest in some sort of a class or a way to go and get your, because they're always making a slightly new angle on some variation of an aerobics class.
Yeah, I saw this. This just reminded me of kind of like that 80s stuff that, you know, those 80s Zumba aerobics type classes that these synchronicity on the rebounder there. So there you go. Our little rebounding jumping exercise today here on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and Petro.
And by the way, team, great job on the fucking old truck. I would put that in the collection.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah, although when I saw it drive past it looked like it had a thing to hook up like some sort of a fucking, like a, what do they call it? A fifth wheel. You're never going to fucking catch me with a fucking fifth wheel behind me. No fucking. No. I'll pull that thing and give it to a valet and have him fucking park it when I go into the hotel.
You don't strike me as a fifth wheel owner. No, hey, Petro, can you see John and Terry cruising around the U.S. in a fifth wheel? Can you?
Yeah, yeah. And with another sound that you might be familiar with, John. Yeah, I got your slingshot for you.
I'm going to say your address is cleared to get it. Mine's not. I must be fucking.
I got a comment from Lauren here. Says Brookie has asked me for a slingshot for 2 years now. No, they say rebounding is very good for digestion. Is that true, Johnny? You think?
I mean, blood flow in general is good.
For yeah. I love that. I love the slingshot, Petro. That's golden right there, man.
Yeah. So hey, did you guys ever solve the riddle?
I did not solve the riddle. I saw it yesterday. No, I did not. What's the answer?
All right, just as a reminder.
Yeah.
Jack is looking at Anne.
Yeah.
Anne is looking at George.
Yep.
Jack is married, but George is not. Is a married person looking at an unmarried person?
Yeah, honestly, I'll be totally honest. I didn't give it. I fucking forgot. I didn't give it a thought.
Most people say, well, it cannot be determined, right? Because they're not sure. They want to know what's the deal with Anne. Is she married or not? But it doesn't matter if she's married or if she's married or not married. There's only two possibilities.
Anne is not married,
but
Jack is married, not married to. Oh yeah,
yeah. So the answer is yes. Doesn't matter if Anne is married or not.
Dude, your fucking questions.
You gotta just draw a picture. Draw. These are the only two possibilities. Either Anne is married or not.
You know, you just said draw a picture. Is that something that we as humans don't do a good enough job sometimes? Is taking what we say. Yeah, we don't. We've got to draw the picture, eh?
Yeah. I didn't put. I wish I'd put some effort in this, but I totally fucking forgot.
Yeah. Yeah, most like 2 out of 3 people say cannot be determined because they want to know what's the deal with Anne, but it doesn't matter. But we call this the drawing the sample space, or sometimes called the problem space. You just draw out all the possibilities. You could see it. People see it very clearly.
So when you show it to your students don't get that right typically?
67% of the time they get it wrong. They say cannot be determined. Yeah. But the answer is yes. Doesn't matter if Anne's married or not. But there was lots of examples of these, but these first principles, divergent thinking kinds of tests.
Yeah. Hey, before you go, Petro, any guest highlights jump out at you this week?
Don Vickers was pretty cool. I thought the memory guy.
Yes.
Put it out there. That was really interesting. I thought.
So how much of that is bullshit, do you think?
No, he's legit. I mean, there's and actually, I don't think he has actually a special power in the respect. If you take anyone with average intelligence, average memory, most people think that we can get like maybe 7 or 9 on average on a digit span test. So what digit span is, I'm going to read you some random numbers, 1 per second, and then wait 20 seconds, and then you have to read those numbers back to me in the same order, right? Most people can get 7, relatively easy. But researchers at Carnegie Mellon in the early 1980s showed that they could take anyone with average intelligence, average memory, and get them up to well over 100 digits. And this is, and it takes more than 90 seconds to read 100 digits at 1 per second, and then you wait for 20 seconds and you read them back, right? And so this is actually a capability that just about anybody has. It's not a superpower, but memory is more powerful than people realize. But yeah, so we've known for well over almost 50 years now that the actual average digit span is not 7 or 9. It's well over 100 if you put in the deliberate practice. You got to really practice.
Anderson, there you go, man. I know you want to work on your memory skills. There's some stuff that Michael Vickers is doing that might help you out as well, brother.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, very cool.
For sure.
All right, let's get Anderson out of here. Let's get Petro out of here. What do you guys Petro, what do you got going on this weekend, brother? Any big plans for you?
I'm supposed to go to the Great Aunt Stella Center for candlelight jazz tonight, but I think they might be canceling it all of a sudden.
Oh, how come?
Okay, we're supposed to get some more snow this weekend.
Oh, you guys.
So I don't know, but I'll have to rearrange some plans if they cancel it.
Anderson, what are you going on today, brother?
I got a few meetings. So I got to do some content right after this, few meetings, a little client action, do some pickleball midday. I think I got the afternoon. I think I'm going to find a little time to catch up on some rest because I missed my nap yesterday. And then I think tomorrow we're going to go. There's some activity. There's a race here, so we're going to go downtown and check that out. It'll be fun. Fun. That's awesome.
What exciting things do you got, Keith?
I got some loose ends I'm going to tie up here in the business. Actually, I'm excited about. I'm going to spend some time with my lovely bride this weekend. She was gone last weekend, so I'm looking forward to spending some time with her. And I got some loose ends that I'm looking forward to tying up here with like I said, with the business. I'm really jacked about because we're done with January, heading into February, and I'm excited. We launched. We had the Jason Hewlett show, episode 2 yesterday. We got Cheryl Whitaker show dropping next Wednesday. I just got a text from somebody who we know, Anderson, who's been on the show here before, who's interested in doing a show with us. So he literally just sent me a text here while we were on the show. He's like, "Hey, let's meet today." I'm like, "All right." So Petro, it looks like I'm building, brother, which I love doing. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. All right, guys, you guys have a good one. I appreciate you both. As always, lots of love from me to you guys. Enjoy the weekend, and we'll connect on next week, okay?
Have a good loop, my brothers.
All right, boys. Love you guys.
Love you too, pal. All right, guys. Johnny and Johnny, you're out of here. You're continuing with the handsome Chief Keith Bellis. Whoopity boopity boop. Good morning. Yes, good morning. Yes, we will hook up this weekend, my friend. And I'm sorry, we'll hook up today. Let's see if we can get you a show on the network. All right, hey, good morning, everybody. Hang out with Keith and John Petro this morning on Mornings Live with Keith, John, and friends. John and John are gone. You got Keith left here. We're going to get into the morning focus. I got a little monologue here to drop about numbers. Yes, numbers are a big part of life, but I think sometimes numbers also can be a big distraction. Let's get into it this morning on the morning focus.
Numbers are useful, but they can still become noise too.
And once they turn into noise, they stop guiding you.
A speed limit says 50. People treat it like truth. It's a suggestion with conditions. Context decides the real answer. We do this in business. Dashboards replace judgment. We do it in relationships. We score instead of listen.
Wearables made it worse. Your wrist became a judge.
Steps, sleep, readiness, clean numbers, messy humans.
Numbers are guardrails, not gods. Check data, then check yourself.
If you feel great and the watch disagrees, you beat the algorithm.
Hey guys, let me say something that might annoy these spreadsheet worshippers for the next few minutes, maybe even the accountants. And apologies to all my friends that love the numbers, because numbers are good. They're useful, but numbers can point you in the right direction. But if you're not careful, they could turn into noise. And noise doesn't guide you. It might drive you, because humans do this weird thing where we see numbers. Yeah, and then we treat it like it's the truth. Think about this for a second. You know, we take something simple like the speed limit. The speed limit. If the sign says 50, most people's brain goes, okay, well, I'm going to go 50. It's the answer, 50 miles an hour. Well, but hold on. No, that might just be a suggestion with conditions, because 50 doesn't know if it's raining. 50 doesn't know if your tires are bald. 50 doesn't even know if your kid kept you up all night. 50 doesn't even know if the road is ice, construction, chaos, or if the dude in the lifted truck behind you is auditioning for Fast and Furious. True story, the Manitoba Drift. But we don't treat it like a context-based guideline. That, in my experience, nation, is the problem with numbers. We treat it like a scoreboard. We do it in business. We do it in relationships. We do it in health. We do it in life. We do it nonstop. We see the number. What's our brain do? We stop thinking. Oh, but it says 50, I could just drive. No, that is the trap. Because numbers are supposed to be the instruments, the instrument, not the idol. A number will tell you something, a number can tell you something, but it will and it won't, and it probably can't tell you everything. That speed limit sign doesn't know it's raining, doesn't know your tires are bald, doesn't know you didn't sleep last night. And the worst part, those numbers are seductive because they feel like they're clean. Look at the speed limit sign. It says 50, nice and clean. There's no ambiguity with it. And that number makes us feel certain. Well, hey, you got an 83 on your sleep score. Wow. But the number feels safe. The number feels like it's control. And the number feels like it gives you direction. But even though the number is clean, life isn't clean. Think about your life. It's full of variables, which is why a number without context is not clarity. It is. It's actually a hallucination. Think about it for a second. And now, we're in the golden age of number addiction. Oh, baby. Lift up your wrist. Lift up your hand. We're counting steps, we're counting calories, we're counting HRV, we're counting sleep score, we're counting strain, we're counting recovery, we're counting VO2 max, we're counting readiness, we're counting, and the list goes on. Neiman, it's just number after number after number after number. And hey, and don't get me wrong. I love the data. I just told my team we've surpassed last week's watch hours this month already. I love the data. I'm a builder. I've scaled companies. I've lived in the dashboards. I live in the dashboard today. And I've watched the numbers like a hawk. But here's the truth. Here's the truth that no one wants to admit. Oh, lean in for this one. Sometimes your wearable, it's wrong. It's just plain damn wrong. Or worse, sometimes it's right. But maybe you're still using it wrong. Maybe it's because you woke up and you feel great, but your watch says, 63% sleep score. So what do? You all of a sudden go, fuck, man, my watch told me 63% sleep score. You might not trust your body. You might not trust your gut. You might not trust your lived experiences because you're leaning into the number. Oh, the number says this. You're letting the device tell you how to be human. Let's pause and rewind that. We're letting the device tell us how to be human. And then we're losing something important. When we do that, we're losing the power of feeling. Oh, did we not talk about feelings yesterday with Karen Carnegie, Neiman? Yeah, not emotions as chaos, but I'm talking about the feeling as a signal. But Keith, I can't measure the feeling on my watch because it says I got 83% sleep score. That's kind of the point. That quiet signal that says, I need some rest. I need to push. That person is a little off. That decision is wrong. That opportunity is real. I'm not okay, but I'm alive. But my sleep score said I only got 30. But here's the uncomfortable question. And here's what I think many of us struggle with. If you can't measure the feeling, does it still count? Because I think we've started living like only measuring things matter. And I got a problem with that. Because you can't hit every metric and still feel empty. That might be the fast track to living someone else's life, maybe your device's life. Maybe you're caught up in somebody comparing the numbers in every social feed you look at. Because yes, you can crush the revenue and still feel disconnected. Yes, you can hit your ideal weight and still hate your body. Yes, you can build a big audience and still feel alone. Oh, you want to ask me how I know this? Because I've lived in both worlds, the metrics and the meaning. And I'm going to tell you this. Numbers never will replace wisdom. Numbers will never replace intuition. Numbers will never replace the truth you feel in your bones. So here's the frame I want you to steal. Think about numbers as guardrails, not gods. Use them to notice, not to obey. Use them to learn, not to judge. Use them to adjust, not to define you. That sleep score you have today doesn't define you. It helps you adjust your day. And if that number starts running your mood or ruining your mood, your confidence, your decisions, it's not performance. That becomes a hostage situation. Is that what you want? That watch, that ring, that band holding you hostage? So today, I'm going to challenge you with this. Check the numbers, then look in the mirror and check yourself. Ask yourself this, how do you feel? What do you know that the dashboard can't know? Think about driving the car today. The wet road, the snowy road, it says 50. Doesn't mean you can go 50. Because if we're going to live like business athletes, we don't just train the metrics, we train the judgment, we train the awareness, we train the honesty. And we get up with this, humans first, always. So here's the punchline for you guys today. If your watch, your band, your ring says that you slept like trash, but you feel amazing, pause. Don't get yourself out of whack. Just congratulate yourself because you just beat the algorithm.
What does it actually cost to become exceptional? And what happens when you stop trying to look successful and start trying to live right? Today's Community Corner sits right in that tension. Obsession versus balance. Substance versus status. Chaos versus polish. If you felt pulled between going all in and playing it safe, or wondered whether the mess means you're failing, or finally doing the real work, stay with us. Keith, let's get into it.
Hey guys, want to join the show with us? Phone lines are open, 431-300-3005. They sure are, 431-300-3005. Come send a text, come send a voicemail, come say hello. And if you don't want to be live on the show, come send me a text. If you got questions for Brianna Bass next Tuesday, yep, she'll be joining us for No Safe Words. Hey guys, we could use some teasers for that here, so that when we're calling people out, we know they can text us for that. So again, we're always wanting to get better, right? We've been running these same clips for days and days and days. We always want to get better. somewhere along the way, we are missing the meaning in that statement. All right, obsession is the toll booth to greatness. We're starting our conversation on YouTube right now. Val over at YouTube says exceptional results don't come from better routines or smarter hacks. They come from, I fucking love this. Love this. Why? Because I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with creating the greatest morning platform on the planet. And for those that can't get on board with this, there's the door. Obsess. Obsess, obsess, obsess. Val argues that balance is often a disguise for fear during the climb. I would argue that balance is often a disguise for doubt. When we learned from Kobe, there's only one of two ways you can spend your time on, winning or losing. And that mastery, as Val says, only arrives when your craft becomes home, not a hobby. Yes, it's lonely. Yes, being obsessive is demanding. Yes, being obsessive might change relationships. But, as Val says, it'll sharpen your intuition. It'll build some rare self-respect, and it might even move you into a thinner air where few people can compete. And that's the air where I want to be. I want to be on the stage, not in the stands, competing for the air with everybody else. Because the real question is simple, as Val says. I love this. I love this. It's so succinct on a day like today. Are you willing to pay the actual price of becoming who you are capable of being? Because if you're not, there's the door. Over on Substack, the Rolex moment isn't about the watch. Because Sam Delaney says this, he tells a small story that opens into a much bigger one. Standing in a shop flush with a good paycheck, he almost buys a vintage Rolex to mark success. Then he catches his reflection and then walks out with the cheap Casio. I wonder a good time if it was the calculator Casio. I had one of those. Yeah. Tick, 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 tick. Still sucked at numbers, even though I had the watch on my hand. That moment sent him back to his late father-in-law, who wore the same plastic watch for decades, while quietly reinventing himself across multiple careers. Well, Delaney isn't rejecting ambition, he's rejecting status as identity. Because he argues that, aging isn't about clinging to symbols or past wins, but staying curious, adaptable, and free to keep moving. I bet it was too, Petro. Absolutely the Casio calculator watch. Let's see if my parents still have my old one. The question isn't what you've earned. No, the question is whether your life still fits what you are becoming. All right, let's move over to LinkedIn to wrap up the community corner today with Maya Reyes. If it feels chaotic, does your life feel chaotic these days, you guys? Because if it feels chaotic, you're probably doing real work. Again, so much truth to that. Matt Wheeler Barrett pushes back on the idea that struggle means you're doing something wrong. I had somebody come to me today and say it's overwhelming. I'm like, yeah, good. Damn right it's overwhelming. Life is overwhelming. Achieving greatness is overwhelming. You got one of two choices when you're overwhelmed. You can bail or you can get up under the squat rack and stand up. Another true story. Because to create greatness means you're doing something wrong. I'm sorry, means that, yeah. The struggle means that you're doing something wrong, as Matt says. He argues the opposite. The real work of building anything meaningful is chaotic. And it is. It's emotional, taxing. It's constantly unfinished. Ask my developers team right now. Constantly unfinished. Constantly. Never done. And just like when we're done this show today, it starts again on Monday. Even when the outside world only sees the wins every single morning, they don't see what the growth happening in those unpolished moments. Because all the growth happens when the plans break, when the clients pivot, the energy dips, and the standards get tested daily. And guys, this is the tension where judgment sharpens and actually your true character shows up. Matt's point isn't to normalize burnout. I think I'm actually at a point in my life, I don't really have time for burnout. I think burnout is like Petro's comment on National Escape Day. If you're burning out, you're not taking care of yourself. We know the science. Get your sleep. Make good decisions. But Matt's point isn't to normalize burnout, it's to normalize the friction. Because if things feel unstable, it doesn't mean you're behind. It means you're inside the process that most people quit before they understand. So if you're overwhelmed, good. It's part of the process. Because the question is whether you interpret chaos or being overwhelmed as a warning or as proof that you're still in the arena. And I don't know about you, but I would love to continue to have the proof that I'm always in the arena, always battling to be the guy on the stage while those sitting in the stands are wondering how I got there. Hey, Maya, are you interpreting chaos as a warning, or are you happy that you have that proof that you are still in the arena here in Mornings in the Lab?
If you feel slightly out of sync right now, too intense for casual rooms, too honest for highlight reels, too restless for old rewards, and that's not a problem to fix. That's a signal. You're not chasing balance, status, or sympathy anymore. You're chasing alignment. And once you see that difference, there's no going back to pretending the shallow version was enough.
Well said, Maya Reyes. Hey guys, we're wrapping up another week here on the big show. Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. What a big week of shows. Holy smokers. And I love that it was ended with the slingshot. Hey, Lauren, I think we got to buy Brookie a slingshot so I can play with it in the backyard. Just saying. Yeah, I think that's probably a good idea, actually. So, Brooks, you're getting a slingshot. Yes. I think I'm going to order one today. Going to get on Amazon or K-Tar. And maybe I'll shoot a slingshot over to Petro. And Petro, see if that clay ball just makes it all the way down to the Carolinas. Or maybe I'll hop on the airplane and come hang out with my buddy. A lot of love for John Petro. We'll do some slingshot shooting up there in the Carolinas. Guys, interesting show here today. Hey, we kicked off with a conversation. Did they find a cure for pancreatic cancer? Well, they may have. We talked about it. SpaceX, XAI, and merger talks. We kind of teased that one. MRA study linking skinny fat and pancreatic fat patterns to faster brain aging. And Tesla is dismissing. I know, Petro, we're going to make it happen, man. I'm telling you right now. We're going to make it happen. Tesla disclosing almost 1 million full self-drive subscriptions as Musk pay plan targets 10 million. And hey, I'm actually, we are not one of them. No, we do not subscribe to full self-drive. We tried it out for a little while, but we do not subscribe. And I will tell you why. True story. Elon, I'm sorry, man. You got enough of my money in the early years towards the full self-drive that never was the full self-drive. So that's a whole conversation we're not even going to have here today. But how many of us folks years ago were paying for the full self-drive that never had the full self-drive? So Elon, I love you, man, but the hell with it. You're not getting my money right now. We also talked about meat eaters living to 100. And that was an interesting conversation. We had MJ Hurley talking center stage. We got into National Escape Day with Petro. And if you keep wanting to check out, the issue isn't rest. For all you guys looking to escape today, it's your life structure that might not be working anymore. We stepped into Nike's Performance Lab with Petro and looked at how athletes are becoming the data and where optimization helps versus where it starts. And we closed it off with the morning focus. We got into where numbers become noise because measurement without thinking doesn't create clarity. It creates confusion. You know, it's funny, man, because ever since Anderson's been talking about numbers being noise, you know, and I've been listening to Kevin O'Leary postulating on the economics of the country and talking about signal and noise. And there's so much to be said for that. Hey, Petro, there's so much to be said for signal and noise when it comes to numbers, right? And I think that we as humans get too much caught up in the noise of a number and not the signal of a number, right? And this is where I really enjoyed Karen Carnegie dropping yesterday, where she talked about feelings. John talked about feelings, right? And all the other variables that add up to the number on your wrist. So even though your wrist says you got a good sleep last night, maybe you didn't, but maybe you're feeling like you didn't, but yet we have no way to measure that feeling. So a great conversation about that. Hey guys, thanks for spending your time with us. We appreciate you guys for helping us grow this show with all that support. We're back next week. More awesome conversations. Where? Right here. Right here. YouTube, over there on X, and over there on LinkedIn. When? Live, 8 o'clock Eastern time. The show is called Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. We'll see you guys live on Monday. Have a great weekend, everybody. It's February. And we're back. Have a good one, nation. We'll see you guys later.